With great power comes great mental illness. Hello YouTubers, I just got done watching Jessica Jones Season 2, and I must say, it's a nice continuation of Season 1. Season 1, in my personal opinion, was a bit overrated and it did suffer from pacing issues. However, Krysten Ritter was awesome as Jessica Jones, and she continues to be a fierce, kick-ass woman in Jessica Jones Season 2. Krysten Ritter continues that type of charm she had in the first season, and the Defenders. This takes place right after the Defenders, and she really does get a lot more complexity added to her character. And the story is much more complex. You get more added to the characters of Malcolm, Trish, Hogarth. This season I really like. Again, there's a lot more complexity. Everybody has issues. You not only get more of Jessica Jones' PTSD, but just her inner turmoil. Just because she killed Kilgrave doesn't mean that her problems are over. In fact, her problems are just beginning. And there's more to her story, her backstory. We get more between her and Trish as sisters, that type of jealousy. And Trish does come off as a bit annoying and just really judgmental towards Jessica, but it really adds to the whole arc of the character, especially towards Jessica and her having powers and her being normal. Overall, the actress who plays Trish did a much better job here, or the writing was better. Everything is really improved on the supporting characters in this season compared to Season 1. And of course, the directors were all women, and we really do need more representation when it comes to female directors, and I'm really glad that each episode was directed by a different woman. I love that, especially with it being released on International Women's Day. I love it. Jessica Jones, too, has a nice vibe. The cinematography, everything is really high quality. Although it is missing that dark edge and kind of David Fincher vibe from the first season, it still retains that film noir element. You have a little bit of an electric guitar added in the intro. It's more exciting, and we get more narration that very much feels like a film noir genre. Krysten Ritter is fantastic as Jessica Jones. She really gets, again, a lot more drama added. Two things that this season suffers from, in my book, is pacing issues. It starts off very slow. The whole series is very slow. There's certain moments with characters that we really don't need. And Hogarth gets put through a lot as well. She's going through her own inner turmoil, her own inner struggle. But I really feel like not all the scenes or not all the characters' arcs were really needed. It just feels like it bogs the show down when we could just focus more on Jessica and the story surrounding her and the season. One thing that the first season had that this one's lacking, though, is that the first season had Kilgrave, which I thought he could have been used more. I didn't like some of the ways he was used after he was captured, but he was a threat. Here, there really is no villain. It really is more about the struggles and relationships between the central characters. So, going into Season 2, I wouldn't really recommend it starting fresh off of Season 2. It's not like Daredevil where you can skip Season 1 and go straight into 2. If you like the characters and like Jessica Jones Season 1, I recommend going into 2. But it might be a very divisive season. It's not your typical superhero genre. It doesn't take the routes that I thought it was going to take. It builds up this villain, and it really just kind of mellows out and takes another completely different direction that's still complex and still very dramatic, still very necessary for the character, but just much different than what we were expecting. But Jessica Jones does have its moments, and again, Krysten Ritter is fantastic. She knocks it out of the park. She is perfect as Jessica Jones. Going from Season 1, going from the Defenders, she really stands on her own here. We also get a few new additions. I like the superintendent that moves into her apartment. The relationship with him and his son and her. Very well done. With Jessica Jones being just kind of like drunk, disconnected woman. She has her issues, but she's kind of learning how to live again. We saw a glimpse of that at the end of Season 1. Her and Malcolm with their alias investigations office. We really get to see more of that this year before the central story takes hold. And Trish has a new boyfriend. We get more with her mother, played by Rebecca De Mornay. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff here, and you get to know more about Jessica Jones' past before she met Kilgrave. We get to see more explored in her origin of why she's the woman she is today. Overall, Jessica Jones 2 is a very interesting show. I just think that the lack of a really central conflict or villain for the first part of it and the pacing issues throughout the whole season really bring this down a bit. I like it just a little bit more in some ways in season one, but season one had a better pace and a better villain. Even though they both suffer from slow pace, it's really kind of a pro and con. It really complements Jessica Jones season one, but it does have some sophomore pains. But we do get to see a lot more explored with the character and the police, certain things that were brought up in season one with Kilgrave in the police station that are shown again here. And yeah, there's also a lot of themes of abuse. This season was very much ahead of its time before the Me Too and Time's Up movement. We get to have a lot of themes of like sexual assault with the characters and different types of abuse in many different ways, whether it be drug use, sexual abuse, different things like that. And it delves really deep into the characters with their arcs in this season that go much deeper than I expected. I give Jessica Jones season 2 an 8 out of 10 and an A-. If you're a fan of the show, I recommend checking out season 2, but beware, make sure you have a lot of time, make sure you're interested because there might be some slow moments, but Kristen Ritter is amazing and the other supporting characters get a lot more to do here. And I'm kind of glad that they did away with some of the weaker elements of season 1. It's just a very different season, it really is. It's completely different from season 1. And another thing that kind of bogs it down is that they tease a return of some characters, and it really isn't a return, it's just more of a nod. But I get to that in my spoiler section. If you're a fan of the show, have you seen the other Marvel Netflix shows, go ahead and check out Jessica Jones Season 2 and make up your own thoughts. If you have seen Jessica Jones Season 2, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What's your favorite season? Right now, I like 2 as far as the story, but the villain and some other elements of action I like better in 1. And I really do miss Luke Cage, even though I love the new romance that Jessica has here. I just really miss that, and I wonder if we're going to get that comic book relationship showing on Netflix. We'll just never know. But it's a nice continuation from Jessica Jones Season 1 and Defenders, and you really don't have to see the Defenders to see this. You could just watch Jessica Jones Season 1 and go straight into this season. Just let me know what you thought in the comments below. Okay, now on to spoilers. Again, this contains spoilers in this part of the video. If you've watched up to this point, I hope you enjoyed the review. But yeah, they tease that villain. It has a female villain, and what is it? Her mother. That was such a crazy twist, a crazy backstory with her not remembering the 17 days when she woke up from her coma after the car accident. We get to know a lot more about Jessica Jones, her brother, her parents. And that was just crazy with her mother and Carl together. Kilgrave, even though I wanted more of him, I'm glad that it was just a small nod and that he stays dead at this point. Even though they really teased a big return, it really kept it more grounded. It kind of reminded me of like Batman Arkham Knight with the Joker. It's just him messing with her mind, her feeling guilty. Jessica Jones, her mother, stuff like that is very, very insane. I like the cop, Agent Acosta. He was in the police station when Kilgrave was there. I like almost everything there. I like how Trish is jealous when she starts being an addict. You get to see that episode 7. You get to see that flashback episode in episode 7. Her boyfriend, Alias Club, how she ended up making alias investigations, her mother killing that guy. And ultimately, Jessica Jones, what made up her character, how she got the leather jacket before she met Kilgrave. There's a lot of stuff that I really liked, and who could forget that ending at Playland? Such a tragic, tragic scene, and oh my god, with the sister. A lot of relationships took some very dark and unexpected turns, but very realistic, and I like the drama there. And then Jessica, again, learning how to live. Although that character that was basically wanting to buy her out, he was kind of annoying. I liked his character. He was intimidating at first. I thought he was going to be like tied to some criminal organization, but he just really became annoying. And again, I could do without the Hogarth and Nurse relationship. There's just a lot of stuff that bogs it down. But those are the moments I really liked that I can talk about. And yeah, it was a crazy season to say the least. Very dramatic and very deep. So an 8 out of 10 and an A-. I also thought it was crazy how the fat guy ended up being the Wiz and he could actually run fast. That kind of was just like, whoa, that was really out there. And I like how they teased a big villain. It's just that even though I didn't mind the direction, it just made it seem like it was going to be somebody much bigger, and it really didn't have a central conflict. But again, it was really more about the characters. Anyway, that's just what I thought about Jessica Jones Season 2. If you like this video, click the like button, comment, and subscribe for more videos.